Welcome to the initial iteration of Texas Tech Fall Camp Position Battles. I'm Jarret Johnson, and I thought, there were some position battles really cropping up after talking with some of the coaches and players from Red Raider Fall Camp. Then I thought it'd be interesting to do a series, talking about the most heavily competitive position group battles in fall camp leading up to Texas Tech's 2020 football season kickoff, which is September 12th against Houston Baptist here in Lubbock at the Jones, of course. So I thought, there's a handful of some pretty interesting position group battles, and I tell you what, I thought why not start off with the quarterback position, because from Coach Wells himself, Coach Matt Wells, as recently as Monday earlier this week, himself said, there is a quarterback position competition. Now, I want to jump into this and say I'm excited about some of the guys that have a quarterback. But on the other hand, the competition right now really boils down to two guys, and that's Alan Bowman and Maverick McIver. And according to Coach Wells, Bowman right now is far ahead of Maverick. Now, that doesn't really surprise me because, Bowman has experience. He started, double-digit games for Texas Tech. He's put up some big numbers and some big games. I mean, he's won on the road in the Big 12. So, I'm not surprised. While on the other hand, Maverick, he was injured most of his senior year at San Angelo Central, and then he was injured in fall camp last year. So he really just doesn't have a lot of experience. And then you throw in the fact that spring ball, which really all the quarterbacks needed the reps in spring ball, Bowman included after missing a lot of last season. He needed the reps as well. But, Bowman still has more experience. He's been in, Coach Yo's system. And, right now, I would be very surprised if he's not the day one starter. Now, as Coach Wells said, Maverick has shown some nice things in camp, but it's a consistency thing. I think he used the term he needs to recognize there's a sense of urgency at all times, which to me that sounds like a young player, being a redshirt freshman, Maverick McIver, an inexperienced player. But, when you look at them, Maverick McIver was a highly rated guy coming out of college, or coming out of high school, San Angelo Central High School. He has a nice arm. I've seen him throw in person. I've seen him throw at tech practice. He's accurate. He has a really good release, strong arm. He was a dual threat quarterback. I don't know if he still is at this point, because he did have a serious knee injury in high school, and then he broke his foot in college. So when I've seen him move around, first off, I haven't seen him take a hit in college yet. So because of course they're non-contact in practice and scrimmages, but when I've seen him, he has a pretty bulky knee brace on. So it's hard for me to imagine him being too quick, in a game type situation. That being said, it's there. The talent is there with Maverick McIver, so I think he will be a viable option. The further we move along, in the 2020 season, the more experience he gets, the more reps he gets, I think it'll be interesting to see. I think a lot of it will depend on how Bowman performs, but then also how Maverick's performing in practice. So, it's 3 more weeks of fall camp for them to sort that out. But to me, right now, Bowman is obviously clearly the starter. Maverick McIver is the backup. And then, interesting added part thrown into this recently is Henry Colombi, the transfer from Utah State. He's a traditional transfer. He transferred in just relatively recently. He's only had a handful of practices, I believe, in fall camp, but he's still waiting on a waiver. And Coach Wells said Monday after practice that right now they don't know yet. They haven't heard back from the NCAA, so they don't know if he's going to be immediately eligible. If he is, he'll have 2 seasons, this upcoming season and his senior season in 2021 to play. He's a 3-star quarterback coming out of a high school in Hollywood, Florida, I believe is his hometown. He really he has experience in David Yo's system. David Yost has recruited him twice now He is a dual threat guy. He can run some. So I like what Henry Columbia brings potentially to the team. And it'll be interesting to see if he is granted that waiver by the NCAA, just how he figures in this quarterback competition, and how quickly he can get up to speed here at Texas Tech. So, those are the three main guys. And then you have the true freshman, Donovan Smith, son of running back coach DeAndre Smith. And at least in the last time we talked with Coach Wells, he just basically referred to him and walk-on guys that as young players are still young players. They look like young players. So, I've seen Donovan Smith play a couple times. I like his talent, but it sounds like he still has a ways to go. So, I really look for what we want to hear is either Bowman really separating himself or Maverick really catching up. To me, it doesn't matter. I want to hear that one or both of them are performing at a high level, not that Bowman wins by default. To me, it doesn't matter if it's Bowman or McIver as long as one of them, or both preferably, are performing at a high level in fall camp, because they have some serious weapons to distribute the ball to. They have some good, really nice receivers. They have some speed on the outside, some size on the outside, some experience both outside and inside. I really like the inside receiver position is just loaded at slot. And then, I think they have some nice options at tight end and then at running back as well. So Roger Thompson, I think, is going to have a great season. So at running back. So they have, no matter who's the quarterback, whoever is the guy taking the snaps, they're going to have weapons, legitimate Power 5 weapons to distribute the ball to. So they need to step up. That's what we want to hear, is one or both of them stepping up. So we will continue to update this competition on Inside the Red Raiders throughout fall camp, of course. And then we'll have more position battles we'll highlight here throughout fall camp. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.